get this kitchen to a better place. I've got my paint clothes on. I already have paint on my hands from last night because I did the primer, one coat. This is my paint look. Hello, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and if you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Carrie. I live here in New Zealand on 2.5 acres of land here on a homestead, and this house was built in the 1950s. We're pretty sure that this kitchen has not been updated since it was built. We have plans to completely gut and renovate this kitchen to make it more modern but still keep its farmhouse charm. We have our bathroom planned for renovations in February. We weren't able to book anybody out until next year, and after renovating our bathroom, then we're gonna be renovating our kitchen. Because we're unable to renovate this kitchen for probably about 6 months, I've decided to give this kitchen a little bit of love. When we moved into this house, we were trying out a bunch of different paint colors. So what we did, which learn from my mistake, when you move into a new place, if you plan on painting, maybe don't go around the entire house and trial a bunch of different paint colors, because if you're painting yourself, it takes quite a while to paint the entire house. So right now we're sort of living in the house with every single room having a bunch of paint tests on all of the walls. Here is a before shot of the kitchen. As you can see, we have an open cabinet situation. So since we moved in, it's been a bit of a mess there, and I plan on getting that much more organized and streamlined. You'll also notice all of our markings on the walls that we are going to be getting rid of right now. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you have not already before we get into this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying the homestead videos. I have more videos like this one that will be coming to you in the future. We're just doing this center space. I started with the primer last night. I've done one coat of primer, and today my husband's going to help me. We're going to do the second coat of primer and 2 coats of 8th Spanish white. That's the color that we're doing for the rest of the house. So let's get into painting.
I love you. I give you everything you want me to. Think about it if I could. I'd burn down the moon and give that to.
Honestly, just the fact that there's tape where there should be in this room is a win for me, because I'm the type of person that would not even put tape.
Let's be real, you were thinking about not
I was definitely thinking about not putting tape. I was like, it'll be fine. And then I was like, no, Carrie, you're better than this. Do tape. And then I was very pleased with myself when I did it. It makes it so much easier for you too. Like, you don't have to sit there and be like, oh, I'm so close to it and I don't want to ruin it. It's like you put the tape and then you can just go for it. Tape when you're painting. It's the right thing to do.
Looking up at a tree, I remember how it started. I was lost in a dream when the fire in my heart said, open rose. I've already found sunlight, the feeling grows. And anything sounds alright, I'm breaking
Very well.
living in the moment in my own.
Solutions. It is the day after. It's Saturday now. We spent the day painting yesterday. The kitchen is looking real good. We have a couple of little bits that we want to fix up with the painting, just like a little bit on the trim and like smooth out a couple of spots, but overall it's already feeling much better. We just had some beautiful weekend brunch, and then we strolled through a nursery to look at some plants because that's what we do. And now we are headed off to go look at some pottery. I've been told several times that I needed to come and check out this potter. His name is Paul Melzer. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I've looked it up online, and his work looks so beautiful. So you actually drive to his home, and he has his studio there, and you can go look at his pottery. And I think if I find some stuff that I like, it would be nice to pick up some local pottery to add into the kitchen, because we have those open shelves, and I think having some beautiful pottery on one of the shelves would be really nice. So we're here now, and I'm really excited to check it out. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at the olive oil decanter. Oh my god, so beautiful. So beautiful. Wow, stunning. Okay.
Gotta pick your color scheme.
Yep. I love the tiles in here, giving me some inspiration for the mudroom or the kitchen. It's so beautiful outside right now. We just got back from the pottery studio. These are all of the goods right here. And I'm gonna pop down one so that I can use this tabletop here and show you guys what I got. I figured I would just stay outside to show you guys what I picked up because it's just too beautiful to go inside right now. So I got these beautiful water or juice cups. Look at this color. And just the details, the bottom. I got 4 of these. I got 4 of each. So I have 4 of these, and then 4 of the coffee mugs, 4 of the plates, and I'll show you them as we go along. I also got this. I love it. I could cry. This is for olive oil. It's kind of like this green, but lighter, and it definitely is a bit more white. It's on like the whitish cream / green side. I wanted to mix up colors. I didn't want everything to match. All of the sets, like all of these color cups will match, but like the plates are different colors, I think, or maybe the bowls are. Anyways, we'll find out as we go along. I got a water decanter as well. The same green as the water cups. Oh my gosh. I just absolutely love this so much. Look at this, just everything about it. And what I love about these pieces is that they're all so unique from each other. Even the plates, they're all sort of different sizes. Oh my gosh, I love it. And then these coffee mugs. Look how beautiful this color is. Oh my gosh. And I love the bits of green that are dripping down. And I actually didn't even realize when I got them that the green matches with kind of this green, and the bottom there matches with that. The cool thing is everything in there can go together because they all are obviously the similar style and similar details because it's all done by the same artist. I wanted it to be a full set. I was like, you know what? We don't make the excursion out of our homestead often, and if I'm here, I'm just gonna go for it. And because we're doing the makeover of the kitchen, I was just sort of like, you know what? I want these to all be showcased in the makeover, part of the whole process. And I mean, these are just pieces that we will love for years. So we've got this beautiful green again happening, and all of the bowls are this color. And then lastly, the plates, which are back to this coffee mug color. And I really love how a plate and a bowl look together. Oh, those two colors together, I love. I found this gorgeous needlepoint art piece from a local thrift store. It says Country Love. It's got a little fruit tree with little hearts as fruits. This kind of looks like our house, which I think is so cool. And then a little chicken with a little egg as a heart, and this chicken sitting on some eggs. It was made in 1990, which is so cool. So it was upside down for some reason. It kind of looked like it had been in here like that, upside down since 1990, because when I took it out of the frame, it had markings as if it had been sitting there like that for quite a while. So I'm just cleaning the glass, and I'm going to put it back in right side up so that we can get it up on the wall.
That's even. That's 25 centimeters on either side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's good then.
That's like actually.
Last week, I picked up some of these air purifiers. These plants are going to help purify the air. They're also going to bring life into the kitchen. I love plants. If you follow my channel and have been following my channel for a while, you know that I am an indoor plant lover and connoisseur. And I have lots of videos about my favorite indoor plants and the best ways to take care of them and all that good stuff. So I am very excited about these, bringing indoor plants back into my life since I had to get rid of all of my plant babies when I left California, which was really difficult for me, to be honest, because I spent many years with some of my plants that I had to give up. So that was one of the hardest things about leaving California, to be honest. There were many things that was difficult, but leaving my plants was really hard. But I gifted a lot of them to friends and family, so that I can check up on them and see how they're doing, which is cool. But these guys are going to hang from the ceiling here in the kitchen. I picked these up last week. There are already hooks in the kitchen, which is what made me think about doing this, because they're lonely hooks and they're a little bit to the side of the window. I would have loved if they were like right center symmetrical of the window, but they weren't hanging indoor plants from there. I think they were hanging some sort of rack to hang pots maybe, or I'm not quite sure. But this is perfect for me to just plop these indoor plants right into the hook and bring some light into this kitchen. I just put them up, and I realized that it's a little too clustered over here. When I tried them out up here before, we didn't have the shelf here, and I love the shelf here. So I think I'm gonna put that plant, because I like it a little bit more, here, and then end up putting that plant like somewhere else in the house and just use this one hook. Yes, it looks so much cuter with just this one there. I feel like it evens it all out.
It's hard to get a screw in there. But...
Cute. All right, it's about it's probably around 7:30 or so. We have some dinner in the oven. I just laid down the rug, and Alex just walked over here, and we were both just like, things are happening. It's coming together. This space it's not finished. I have some more little finishing touches. Alex is still working on the drawers, but it is amazing how much just these little, like a little bit of paint, a couple of things up on the walls, a reorganization. It is amazing what little touches can do. It can make extreme changes. I just walked into this room and I was like, I like this room now. I despised this kitchen before, but I saw what potential it had when I was in it. I was like, this could be so cute, because it did have this quaint like charm to it that I knew existed in it, but I just needed to like bring it to life a little bit. And now it just feels like this really quaint and cute little farmhouse kitchen, which is exactly what it is. And we've just brought it to life and just made it our own, and it's coming together right now and it feels really good. And I'm at that stage in the process right now where I'm like, ooh, I'm so excited to do these finishing touches. And yeah, it's making me feel good. The kitchen is so important, and again, because we're not renovating for a while, I just wanted the space to feel good, and it does now, and I'm really happy with it. Welcome to the refreshed kitchen. I'm excited that this space feels like a place that I'll feel good in. It feels more like us. It feels more organized. First, I started off with these baskets, and I love that they are rectangular baskets. I feel like baskets are always my go-to whenever I'm thinking organization. Alex's mom actually went to Mexico City recently to visit my brother-in-law, and she sent me photos of baskets with fruit in them that they had in a cafe, and it gave me the idea to store our fruits and our onions, our lemons, our apples, and our potatoes, just kind of whatever we have in the kitchen at that time, in different baskets here on the bottom shelf. I feel like it really goes along with this farm style. I love that it's really right here for me, so really accessible and organized. The next shelf, because this is all open concept, I knew that I wanted to do jars right away. I decided to not label each of these because they're clear and I can see what they are, and instead of having a bunch of labels all across here, I decided to keep it nice and clean. But things like these amber bottles, I was like, okay, well, we're going to need to label them because we can't see them. So for instance, white distilled vinegar and apple cider vinegar are labeled because we wouldn't know what they were otherwise. And we like to buy things in bulk, so it's nice to be able to refill those as we go along. Also because we do live rural, so we don't go into town all of the time. It's not as accessible. It is only about 15 minutes away from us, so it's not crazy. But it is kind of like, okay, we're going into town today, let's go grocery shopping. So it takes a little bit more time. So it's nice to buy things in bulk so that we have it in the mudroom that we can just grab from when we need it.
It's actually more affordable too.
It's more affordable when you buy in bulk too. I have my husband here right in the back. So also we do have like a laundry mudroom space, so it's a great place to store the bulk items. So that's good too. And then we have another shelf, same type of situation, jars with goodies inside. I've got some of my seaweed snacks in there, lentils, brown rice. We've got hemp seed protein, we've got panko, and then down on this shelf we've got stuff like pumpkin seeds, walnuts, brown sugar, pasta, quinoa, crackers, all the goods. And then in this basket I put our eggs. We're planning on getting chickens pretty soon. We've been finishing up our chicken coop. Alex today actually built the roof for it because, well, yeah, there it is right outside the door. So we're prepping our space for chickens. Our home already had a chicken coop that was beautiful. The roof just needed some love. So Alex built a new roof, and I'm going to eventually find a better way to store eggs, but I always love taking eggs right out of the carton because I love them being very accessible to us in the kitchen where we can just grab and go in the morning, and in the cartons, I just don't like them being on the countertop or anything like that. Here in New Zealand, they do not refrigerate eggs like they do in America. They're fresh eggs. Eggs aren't really supposed to be refrigerated when they're right from the chicken. So that's a little piece of info there for you guys. And then we've got more shelves over here. This is all of the pottery that you guys saw already in the video, laid out with some of my mugs that I already had that go with these ceramics pretty perfectly. And I realized that, you know, I bought these originally and I realized why I love Paul Melzer pottery, because it looks so similar to, you know, the type of pottery that I've, you know, purchased in the past. So they all go really well together. I was very happy when I came back and put them all together. And then I've got the mug, and then these are some older plates that I had that really have that beautiful speckled look to them as well. And then we've got some wine glasses up here, our wine decanter, and this little lemon squeezer. So I just love overall, if you like were to pull back and look towards me in the kitchen, it's just night and day from where it was before. I had cans and just random things just spread out because right when we moved in, we didn't have a refrigerator at first, and we were also just like collecting random things, and we just needed places to put things. So it was a mess in here. So now it just feels fresh, clean, organized, and just so good. And then when you walk over here, one thing I love about this house, the doors. I love, 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 love this red door. And when it's beautiful out, you can hear Wilson bawling at me because it's time for his milk. I love this door so much. All of our doors are sort of this like lived in red tone. I don't know if this was the original paint from the 1950s, probably not, but it's probably quite old. I don't know how old, but it's chipped and it's lived in, and it feels barn style, it feels farmhouse style, and I love that about it. And when it's a beautiful day out, we always keep this door open. And if you pull back again, sorry Alex, it still looks so beautiful in here. I feel like this door just adds such a gorgeous look to it. I'm very visual, so I like when I walk in this room and I see the open red door, I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. But when the door is closed, like in the morning, if it's cold outside, if it's raining, then you can see that we put up, or Alex put up, this hook. We had like a couple nails on the wall that was trying to hold up all of our aprons, and it kept falling, and it was just a nail from the previous owner that we were like, okay, we need to get real hooks here. So we have these 3 aprons. These 2 are mine. This one's Alex's. We hung up these mittens too because it's pretty close to the oven. And this space didn't have, especially the oven, and there are no drawers next to the oven either. So there was no place to put mittens or to hang towels. And that is why this comes in to the picture now, because we needed more countertop space. And of course, when we renovate next year, our plans for knocking some walls down and adding more countertop space are all going to be awesome. But for now, we needed more countertop space. So we actually were at a shop and we saw this and we were just like, okay, let's go for it because it matches the kitchen. It's going to immediately give us more organization space, more storage space, and more countertop space. So we went for it. It also gives us a place to hang our towels to dry. A little California towel because you've got to represent. We also have a New Zealand one. So we've got California and New Zealand representing. And then there's this shelf with clean towels, which is really nice because I don't really have a drawer in the kitchen for that. And in this top drawer, we have our cheese knives, we have wine openers, beer openers, wine corks. So this is kind of your tableware. You'd probably have a cheese board going on if you had people over because there's also a wine rack down here. And then my mom got me these beautiful kind of like little limoncello tablecloth and towels that I cannot wait to use this summer. So I put that down there to remind me to use it. And then I put this basket here for our dirty towels. So obviously there's one already in here right now. And we go through kitchen towels quite often because we try not to use paper towels very much. So we just throw them in there. And then I can bring them, or Alex can bring them into the mudroom or the laundry room. We can just go right in there and wash them. This oven will go very soon because we can't wait to have a bigger oven because we cook so much, but this came with the house and so we're using it for now. We added this floating shelf here, and this is one of the ceramics that the potter made that you guys saw. It has olive oil in it, and we put it right up here because it's right above the oven, so that's the perfect place for it because we use olive oil quite often as we are cooking. I put some lemons up here just for color. We'll end up using them, but I just thought they looked quite nice there. And then this is the plant that I didn't end up hanging up here, and I actually just put this bag that I use when I go grocery shopping to put produce in. I put it around it because I just wanted to take away from the kind of plastic black casing that it came in, and I wanted to give it more of like a cotton feel to it. So put that there. And then yeah, we ended up switching out these top knobs. Alex did that. It was kind of a serious pain for him to do it. So we just ended up just switching out the tops and leaving the bottom ones because I actually quite like knobs when they are different. When you do all the same knobs, sometimes I'm like, kind of boring or too much. So I kind of like that it's mix matched here. And then we changed one on this side. Now these cabinets are in absolutely terrible shape. They are in despair. So, you know, those are definitely going to be one of the first things that we pull out of here. It's super backlogged here in New Zealand right now for any type of renovations. We couldn't even get a booking for our bathroom to get renovated till February, and then our kitchen is going to get renovated after that. But to be honest with you, we're kind of happy about it because one of the biggest pieces of advice that we kept on getting from people who had purchased a home and did renovations, they said live in it for a little while before you go in and do renovations because you'll learn as you go how you use the space and what you want. And it's so true. Like even just being here for a little over a month now, there's so much that I'm realizing that I want to do that I wouldn't have known that I like to use the space like that if I wasn't living in it the way it is now, and if I just went in and gutted everything instead. So I do really believe in that. I believe in the concept of, okay, move into a house you want to renovate, but live in it for a little bit if you can, if that's how it works out for you in the cards, because there are just so many moments where I'm like, oh yeah, that advice is so true. So as you guys probably can tell, we don't have a dishwasher. So we use this little bamboo guy that pulls out like so. I pretty much love it, to be honest. Like, I think it matches really nicely with the house. I love that it's not plastic. I think a lot of the dish racks can be plastic and stuff like that. So I think this matches really nicely. I actually really love these steel countertops too. They're the original, right? This is a farmhouse kitchen. So it definitely has that feeling to it, and they're pretty convenient. You can put anything hot on top of it, and they're really easy to clean. I'd say one last little thing is this nook over here. Well, I'll tell you guys about these in just a moment. Let's start up here. I always love having a little coffee nook and tea nook in a home whenever possible. This is just really simple. We've got our coffee in this jar, and then our French press back here, and then all of our tea and my matcha here. I always feel like, I think I said this earlier in the video, but I just think it's nice to have a convenient spot in the morning to just go straight to your coffee. These, funny story, are a kettle and a toaster that were in our caravan when we purchased it.
And covered in rust.
Alex brought them back to life so that we could use them in the caravan because they're perfectly working and great. And we were like, why would we buy a new kettle and a toaster for the caravan when these work perfectly fine? Very soon though, because I just ordered a new kettle and a new toaster from Smeg, they will be here like in the next week or so. These will go back in the caravan, and so when we are camping in the caravan, we can have these back there, and we can actually have our own toaster and kettle here in the house. These are working perfectly fine for us right now, but it'll be nice to get our own appliances. We obviously had to sell or donate our appliances from the US when we moved here because the voltage is different, and when you plug in something like that, it could literally like blow up, spark, and it won't work anymore, or could cause a fire. So we
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, we tried it out already. We were like, oh, let's just try it, and yeah, that happened.
Inflatable bed doesn't inflate anymore.
No, we were like, let's bring our inflatable bed just in case we have guests early on and we don't know, or we can stay in it when we're renovating the house, which is what we ended up doing. We were like, oh cool, we have the inflatable bed, let's bring that, because we're not going to bring our bed until we polish the floors. Plugged it in, totally did not work anymore, and like smoke came into the room, and we were like, is it going to catch on fire? It didn't, thank goodness. We also have this rug. This warms up the kitchen so much, and in the morning when you're in your socks or even bare feet, which I don't do very often here in New Zealand anymore because my feet are always cold, but it just immediately makes you feel cozier in here. It is a bold choice to go for a cream rug in a kitchen. I know. I think so many people are going to comment like, that's bold, brave. You guys saw me picking up sheep poop in my white skirt. I'm not afraid of it. I might come to my senses at some point, and I might go, you know what, this might be better in my office. But for now, I love it in here. I love the colors, how it looks in this space. We have a rule in this house that we have to remove our shoes before we come inside, especially because this is a homestead, and right outside of the door there's going to be mud. It rains a lot in New Zealand. We're not on pavement. We're walking around on gravel, on mud, on grass all of the time, in the orchard or in the garden. And so our shoes are always covered in mud or lime pathway from the garden or grass, whatever, or they're just wet. And so we always remove our shoes at the door and we come inside and keep the floors clean. So hopefully, if Lanka, he's the big question mark. Will he run across this rug with his muddy feet at some point? Likely, but I'm gonna try to not let that happen. And lastly, I should probably tell you guys what fridge we got. It's a Fisher & Paykel fridge, which so many Kiwis, people living in New Zealand, told me to get Fisher & Paykel. They highly recommended it. We actually had this same fridge when we were staying at Alex's family home here in New Zealand, and we kind of got to test it out and we really liked it. So we essentially got the same refrigerator, but in white. And I really love the steel and the white mix. I think it blends in really well with this kitchen and how it's set up right now. And you can't really go wrong with white and steel. It'll match nicely with whatever we decide to renovate and how we do it. And that is it for this kitchen makeover. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that it gave you guys some inspiration for your place, or if you're renting, if you just got a home that you want to spruce up a little bit and kind of just reorganize your space. Hopefully I can give you some inspo. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you very soon in my new video next week. I hope you guys are enjoying the vlogs. This is a little bit different than last week, but I'll be mixing in these types of videos as we go along. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.